So yesterday we were learned how to find the Goff and Fog function for the given two functions f and g. And one of the condition we have to also study about when Goff and Fog function exist for the two given functions. Okay, so uh, the same type of questions from your assignment, that means question number 14. If the function f is such that r to r, f is such that r to r, uh, fx is equal to x minus 1, and you have to find the value of fog and Goff for the given function. So let us check that how you find the value of fog and Goff. So first of all, you have to check whether the given functions Goff and fog exist or not. So for the function fog, what be the condition when you say that the function exists? So in case of fog, here you see that g function is second function. So the range of g is a subset of domain of f. Then you can say that fog function exists. So first of so for the here you can check that the domain of f is r, codomain is r. And if you see the function fx is x square plus 2, so that be defined for all the real number. So you can say that range of f is all the real number, and domain is also all the real number. In case of g function, the domain of g is given in your question r minus 1 actually. Yes,
Sir, your camera is off.
camera off. So there is. Okay. Yes, it will.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Uh, here it is given f function and g function. F is such that r to r defined as fx is equal to x square plus 2. G is such that r minus 1 to r, gx is equal to x upon x minus 1. And you have to find the value of fog. So in case of fog, the condition is that the range of g is a subset of domain of f. Only you check that. No need to find here with that with the step. Here you have range, that be the value of range, and here that be the value of, that means domain. No, only you have to check whether that be correct or not. So just think about that. If you are talking about range of g and domain of f, so domain of f is already given as real number, and range of g is also belongs to real number, but some of the value is not taken. So no doubt that range belongs to the domain of f, so you can say that fog function exists. Okay, so that condition is true here. So you can write it directly, the value of fog as f of gx is equal to f. Now putting the value of gx, so the value of gx is x upon x minus 1 here. So it becomes f x upon x minus 1. Now you find the value of this complete function, and here the function is defined as fx is equal to x square plus 2. So you put it there. So this can be written as x upon x minus 1 whole square plus 2, and simplifying the terms. So if you're taking its LCM, so you have x minus 1 whole square, and here you have x square plus 2 times of x minus 1 whole square, which is x square minus 2x plus 1. And again you simplifying it, so that be equal to that is equal to x square plus 2x square minus 4x plus 2 divided by x square minus 2x plus 1, and is equal to x square, and this one 3x square minus 4x plus 2 divided by x square minus 2x plus 1. So that gives the value of fog in this case. So that gives the value of fog. Now if you are talking about Goff, so in case of Goff, what you have? What are the condition when you say that Goff function exists? So for Goff function, the range of second function, that means R of f, is a subset of domain of G. Now check it. If you are talking about the range of f, so here you see that the value of x square be always greater or equal to 0. And if you adding 2 to them, so you can say that the range, that is the minimum value of fx is 2. So you can say that the value of fx means the range is from 2 to infinite. So that be 2 to infinite. And if you are talking about domain of G, that is R minus 1. So no doubt R of f, yani ki range of f is a subset of domain of G is true. So you can say that Goff function exists. So here you find the value of G of fx, which equal to G of value of fx is x square plus 2, and then you find the value of G of x square plus 2 and putting that value in G, so that be x square plus 2 divided by x square plus 2 minus 1, and is equal to x square plus 2 divided by x square plus 1. So in this way, you can very easily find the value of Goff and fog. So sometime a 1 marks question or 2 marks question can be asked in your that is a board exam. So actually that topic is very easy, and no doubt you can solve it for 1 and 2 marks question, not beyond that. So next question, question number 15. Now 15th question, here it is given f is such that r minus 7 by 5 to r given as fx is equal to 3x plus 4 divided by 5x minus 7, and G function, G is such that r minus 3 by 5, okay. So this be not r, here you have also r minus 3 by 5, or here you have fx, r minus 3 by 5 to r minus 7 by 5, r minus 7 by 5. So in this way, f and g function given, gx is equal to 7x plus 4, 7x plus 4 divided by 5x minus 3, 5x minus 3. And in this question, you have to show that Goff is equal to IA and fog is equal to IB. So here, what is the meaning of IA and IB? Actually, IA and IB both are the identity function, because all that are the identity value. So IA, so here it is given where B is equal to R minus 3 by 5. So what does it mean? means if you write here IB, so value of IB belongs to, that is B set, whatever here it will be given. And IA means that element belongs to A set. So overall, actually here the both function f and g are in terms of x actually. But if the function f and g both are in terms of x and y, so you can very easily distinguish the difference in between IA and IB. The reality is that suppose if you want to find the value of g of f, gof, and the function f is from x to y. So if that gof is identity, so the complete value of, when you say that, that be identity function. So if the value of gof is x, then you can say that be identity. In the same way, if g is a function of y and f is a function of x, and here you find the value of fog, f of g, and if that value is y, so in that case you can say that it is identity function. Okay, so reality is that any function is said to be identity if you have the result fx is equal to x, fx is equal to x. So if the second function, it completely depend upon the second function. Okay, so if the second function is a function of x, so no doubt the complete value is x. And if the second function is in terms of y, so if the complete composition of that function is y, so you can say that way identity. So here only you have to find the value of gof and fog and check it with this type of value. So no doubt here f and g both are in terms of x, so no doubt its value is also x. So just here you find one by one. So first of all you find here g of f. So g of fx, g of fx means g and fx. So write the value of fx here, which is 3x plus 4 divided by 5x minus 7. So in this way, gof is this one. Now you find the g of this complete value. Now putting the complete fraction in place of x in the value of gx. So you have 7 into 3x plus 4 divided by 5x minus 7 plus 4 upon 5 into 3x plus 4 divided by 5x minus 7 minus 3. Now taking LCM, so LCM is 5x minus 7. 5x minus 7 is LCM. So here you have 21x plus 28 plus 20x minus 28. And here you can again take LCM, 5x minus 7. So you have 15x plus 20 minus 15x plus 21 plus 21. In this way, you have its value. Now here you see that your LCM part be cancel out. LCM part be cancel out. So this and this term be cancel out. And here 28 cancel out. And here you have, yes, 15 cancel out. Now if you are adding these two, here you have 21x plus 20, so that be 41x. So 41x upon 41. So 41 is also cancel out. So here you have x. Here you have x. Now the concept is that for the identity here, only you have to check the second function, as the second function is here x. Okay, and x is in terms of x. And here you see that the complete gof function is also equal to x. So that b belongs to IA. So you can say that gof is equal to, sorry, yes, gof is equal to IA. So here you can say that is equal to IA, that means identity. So here you have that is I of A, means identity function. So it's proved that it is identity function. In the same way, you can very easily find the value of fog also. So yes, do it. And the same value you have obtained x, so which is identity function. So you can do it by yourself, I think. So do it. In the same way, you can find the value of fog. Okay. No. Yes, do it. You can do it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, do. That'd be easy. Easy question. Now, question number 16. Question number 16 is fx is equal to e to the power x. Fx is equal to e to the power x, and gx is equal to log x base e. That is log x base e, and x greater than 0, that is given, means domain already decided here. And you have to find the value of fog, gof, and also you have to check whether the two functions are equal or not. So the point is that when you say that the two functions are said to be equal, if the value of the function and the domain of the function are equal, then you can say that the two functions are equal. If for the given two functions, its domain and its values are equal, then they are said to be, that means equal function. Otherwise, they are not said to be equal function. Sometime, that means if they are not, that means knowing about the definition, when you say that the two functions are equal, they confuse to write its correct answer. Sometimes the value of gof and fog are same, but if you are, that means talking about its value, oh, the values are equal, so the functions are equal, so in that case that means student that is make it wrong. So you have to think about its domain as well as its value, both, not only the value. So let us try to solve all that things. So here you see that the function, so the domain of f is given here. So the e to the power x is defined for all the real number, no doubt. Okay, now if you're talking about the range of f, so what you have, if you put x is equal to 0, you have 1. So you can say that the minimum value of e to the power x is what? 1. So the range of f is from 1 to infinite. The range of f is from 1 to infinite. Now if you're talking about gx, so the domain of f is already here given, 0 to infinite, and the range of f is equal to all the real number. Range of f is all the real number. So in this way, you can very easily find the domain and range of the given function. Now you have to check it one by one, whether they be exist or not. So if you're talking about fog, so in case of fog, what you have, the range of G, only you have to check it. Range of G is a subset of domain of F. Check it. Range of G, oh sorry. Here you have range of G. So range of G is here R, and here you have R. So you can very easily say that R is a subset of R. Fog exists. So here fog exists. Now you find the value of fog, G of fx. So G and, sorry, F and value of Gx. Value of Gx is given here, log x base E. Log x base E. Now you find the value of f of log x. So that can be written as e to the power log x base E. And you already know one of the result. Yes, note it. E to the power log x is equal to x. Note that result. E to the power log x is equal to x. So e to the power log x base E, that is also equal to x. So here its value is x. So here you see that the value of fog is x. In the same way, you come to gof. if you are talking about Goff, so what you have in that case, in case of Goff, the range of F is a subset of domain of G. Check it. The range of F is 1 to infinite and domain of G is 0 to infinite. So that be the subset. So you can say that G of fx is equal to G of value of fx. So the value of fx is e to the power x. Now putting that value in G, so you have log e to the power x base e, and that can be written as x log e base e, and log e base e is equal to 1. So here you have x into 1, that is equal to x. So here you see that its value is again x. Okay, so in this way, here you find the value of Goff and Fogg. So here you see that the both function have the same value, but if you are talking about its domain, so just check it. In case of Goff function, the domain of Goff function is set A actually. Just see your diagram for the composition function. So the domain of F, that means the domain of Goff is the domain of F, and the domain of F is R here. And here the domain of G is 0 to infinite. And here you see that both domain are not equal. So you can say that the value of the functions are same, but the domain of Goff and Fogg are not equal. So you can say that they are not, the function are not equal. So write it in this way, since domain of Goff not equal to domain of Fogg, which be given here. So Goff not equal to Fogg. So Goff is not equal to Fogg, you can say it. Okay. Means you have to not depend only upon the value of Fogg and Goff, but you have to also see their domain and domain of both function. If the both values as well as domain are equal, then you can say that it is they are equal. So in this way, it be completed. Now your next slide. Question number 17. In question number 17, fx is given as root x, and yeah, there be some mistake here. Actually, when you say fx is root x, so the value of x is greater or equal to 0, not only greater than 0. So you that means correct it. So fx is equal to root x, x greater or equal to 0, and gx is equal to x square minus 1 are two functions. Find Goff and Fogg, and you have to also check that whether they are equal. So 17 question, just check it. Fx is equal to root x and x greater or equal to 0, and gx is given as x square minus 1. X square minus 1. Okay. Now you have to find the Goff and Fogg. So the domain of f is already given, which is 0 to infinite. And if you're talking about range of f, that is 0 to infinite again. That is also 0 to infinite, because that quantity is within root. So that may be 0 or always positive value. Now if you are think about this one, x square minus 1, so the domain of G is all the real number. It will be defined for all the real number. And if you are talking about the range of Gx, so range of Gx can be obtained by, if you, that means just see it. If you, that means taking y is equal to x square minus 1, So no doubt x is under root y plus 1. Under root y plus 1. So the complete quantity is greater or equal to 0. So you can say that its range is -1 to infinite. So the range of G is -1 to infinite. So in this way, you are very easily find its domain and range. Yes, domain and range. Now come to the point. Now if you want to find the value of fog, so what you have? So first you find the value of fog here. So in case of fog, what you have? In case of fog, what you have? The range of G, that means that quantity is a subset of domain of this one, 0 to infinite. So here, if you see that the range of G is not a subset of domain of G here, F here. The range of G is not a subset. Actually, here, F and G are real function, real valued function. So sometime it be happened, the range of G is not a subset. Here, just you see it, the domain of F is from 0 to infinite, and the range of G is here -1 to infinite. So you can say that, oh, Goff not exist, but there be a problem in case of Goff here. So what you do in that case? So if you find the, that means the domain of Goff, where the domain of Goff exists. So the domain, in case of domain of Goff, what you do? For each x belongs to G here, the corresponding function, that means Gx is obtained, and that Gx is the element of domain of F, that means 0 to infinite. So if you're talking, here you see that in case of Goff here, from the given function, here you see that, yes, range of G is not a subset of domain of F. The result is like that. If you are saying the function, range of G is not a subset of domain of G, F. So what you do, you have to decide the domain of Goff. What is the actual domain of this Goff? Just see it. Actually, that there be a condition also for the real function. If the intersection of range of G and the domain of F is not equal to phi, then you can say that fog exists. Fog exists. So you may define this way also. So if you're talking about the domain of fog, so what you do in that case, you can say X belongs to G. X belongs to Gx, and Gx belongs to domain of F. Here, what you do in that case, X belongs to Gx and Gx belongs to domain of F. Now you write it, X belongs to Gx means what? Yes, not Gx. Here you can write domain of G, so that it be more clear. So the domain of G is all the real numbers. So you can say X belongs to all the real number, and the value of Gx means x square minus 1 belongs to 0 to infinite. And the value 0 to infinite is what? That be positive real number. That be positive real number. So you can write that is also equal to x belongs to R. And if you are talking about this one, you have the result x minus 1 greater or equal to 0. Either this value is 0 or it be greater or equal to 0. And you can know to solve this type of inequality. So if you are talking about that, x belongs to R, and here you can say x plus 1, x minus 1 greater or equal to 0, and is equal to x belongs to R, and here x belongs to, where x belongs? Yes, in case of positive real number, minus infinite to minus 1, union 1 to infinite. Union 1 to infinite. So in this way, you decide the domain. In this way, you can decide the domain of Goff. Now check it, whether the domain of such type of Goff really obtained or not for finding the value of Goff function. So let us check it. Now, if you come to the, yes. Now, if you are checking for the value of fog, what you have? In case of fog, you can write f of gx and is equal to fgx. Now putting the value of gx, so f into value of gx is x square minus 1. Now fgx, so you have to put it in the value of fx. So that is equal to under root x square minus 1. Now if you are saying that the value of function is under root x square minus 1. So if you find the domain of this function, so it be also x square minus 1 is greater or equal to 0. Here you see that you have the same value as the domain of Goff function obtained here. So in this way, here you have the value of Goff. Now come to the value of fog function. So fog is completed. Now you find the value of Goff. In case of Goff, what you have? A range of f. So check it, where is range of f? 0 to infinite. And that be a subset of domain of G. Yes, it be correct. So range of f is a subset of domain of G here. Now find it directly. So G of fx is equal to G and the value of fx is root x. Root x. And that value is to be put it here. So you have x minus 1. You have x minus 1. So in this way, Goff function be, that means calculated very easily. So sometime you have to follow the step which we discussed here in question number 17. So the purpose to given this question number 17 is only to know how to find the Goff and fog function when that type of condition also hold. Okay, but think about that type of question is not asked in your board examination, only just to learn, or that means knowing such type of fact, we have to solve this question. Okay, now question number 17, now 18. Yes, 18 question is also very important question, and that we asked in 2016 board examination. So you have to do it. Question number, okay, so the time is also so much less, so we have to, that means solve it tomorrow, and just you can do it. Question number, so 18 question we have to solve it tomorrow. Question number 19 you can do it. That question be same as the question we solved, that means yesterday. So the same method you have to solve it, question number 19. And from tomorrow we have to also, that will discuss about the invertible function. And actually in your assignment, most of the questions after 19 to 20 questions are based on invertible function and inverse function. So tomorrow we have to discuss about the invertible and inverse of function, how you find the inverse of function and what are the condition, or where you say that the function is invertible. We have to only discuss all that things about that. And no doubt that topic is so much easy because you well know about the previous topic, that means one function, onto function, or bijective function. So no doubt inverse function is a easy topic, and you have to, that means feel, that means make interest on it to solve such type of question also. So invertible function, inverse function, and after that we have to that means study about the inverse trigonometric function, that be very conceptual. and also you have to learn a lot of things on that topic. And the homework for the to knowing about the inverse trigonometric function is you have to open the topic trigonometric function and learn all the domain and range of the inverse trigonometric function. Means you have to learn that inverse trigonometric domain and range of all the inverse trigonometric function, as well as all the formula related to trigonometric functions, whether they are sine a plus b, cos a minus b, sine a minus b, tan a plus b, whatever you studying in class 11th in trigonometry, you have to learn. Means in that in such a way, if you learn it, no doubt inverse trigonometric function is so much easy for you, and it help you to learn the formula which is in the form of trigonometric functions. Okay, so that is very helpful to you to that means learn the concept of inverse trigonometric function, because it is completely depend upon the trigonometry. And just I give the concept also why trigonometric function is said to be invertible. But if you that means see the concept of invertible function, generally in general way, you can say that, oh, inverse does not exist for any trigonometric function. But we have certain rules which we follow, it becomes invertible, and trigonometric function exists for that type of function. So please go through trigonometric functions and learn all the formula related to that. And okay, are you listen to me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
So you
sir.
have, yes, beta. So you have to study, learn more and more formula, and no doubt you see there, if the trigonometric formula is known, the formula of inverse trigonometric function is so easier to learn. Only you just means only you think the that means the concept or the pattern which be written in trigonometric function. So the complete based on the trigonometric functions, it be completely based. So in this way, you that means it be very easy.